Blessings, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. We have a nice short little practice that we'll do just to take some time to focus on ourselves for a minute. I know right now things are really stressful in the world if you're practicing in real time with me. If you're not, I'm sure there's probably plenty of things stressing you out, and this is a good little practice just to come back into your body, to give yourself some nourishment, to self-soothe, and it is quick. It's not as long of a practice as I normally do, but I wanted to make sure that even if you don't have an hour or 45 minutes or however long, that there is still time to practice, and hopefully now it won't go 45 minutes long. It probably will, but we'll see. Um, Props, if you have a bolster, you can grab that. Blankets, pillows, anything like that, feel free to grab those. Blocks, you can grab those also if you have them. If you don't have any of those things, don't worry about it. All right, so we are going to start today in a nice, comfortable, cross-legged seat. And I just want to show you before class begins, I have these fun little yoga toe socks. So they have a nice little um, kind of sticky stuff at the bottom. It's really cold here today, so my feet are cold, and these really help to bring a little warmth, but my toes are free, so I can still grip onto the mat and I'm not going to slide around. I know sometimes I like to wear regular big socks and then I'm sliding all around and I have to take them on and off, and I don't want to do that. So these toe socks are kind of fun, so we'll see. All right, so we'll come to a nice, comfortable cross-legged seat. If you have a blanket or a bolster, you can use those to sit on, just to bring the hips up a little bit and to bring some more length to the spine. All right, and once you're here, go ahead and just, you can rest your palms facing up or down, doesn't matter, whatever feels good to you. You can also bring your hands heart center. You can place a hand on the belly, a hand on the heart, whatever feels good to you today in your body. Really listen to what you want to do and what feels good in your body today. All right, so go ahead and find your comfortable seat, place your hands wherever you'd like. And we're gonna just start by focusing on the breath. You can close down the eyes or soften the gaze if that feels more comfortable to you. And to start, just observe your breath. Sometimes when we're going and going and going, we forget to breathe. So observe if maybe you've been holding your breath, or maybe you've been breathing really shallow, not fully into the belly and into the rib cage and all of that. Observe the coolness of the breath as it enters into your nostrils. And then observe the warmth of the breath as you exhale, either through the nostrils or mouth. And as you breathe here, really try and fill up your belly and your lungs. Really take nice, big, deep breaths. This oxygen helps to nourish your body and you. And I commend you for taking this time for yourself. I know it can be hard to do. A lot of times we run around trying to make everyone else happy and cater to everyone else's needs. And a lot of that is tied to seeking that external validation, like, if I can do X, Y, and Z for this person, if I can help this person or whatever the case may be, it's kind of us seeking validation that we are worthy. And if you're trying to seek validation from those outside sources, more than likely you're going to end up frustrated and burnt out and upset and tired. And the best thing you can really do is taking this time to focus on you and what you need and what feels good in your body. And taking this time to nourish yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit. Because when you're well rested and nourished, then you can show up for others not from a place of lack, but a place of more abundance and overflowing. When your cup is full and it's filled, then you can overflow and then give to others. But it's really hard to pour from that empty cup if you don't replenish yourself and nourish yourself and take the time for yourself. So thank you so much for joining me today. And as you exhale, you can breathe out of your nose or you can sigh out your mouth, whatever. Again, listen to your body. Start to pay attention to what feels good in your body and what you'd like to do. I know I am one of those people that I like those written out directions. I want to know what I should be doing. But really, yoga isn't necessarily about that. Yes, I'm going to give you, I'm going to guide you. But if something doesn't feel right in your body or if something doesn't agree with you, then feel free to choose your own adventure. We'll take just a couple more breaths here. Take one more big inhale together. And then collectively we'll all exhale, sighing it out. And as you can see, if you'd like to slowly and come back to the room around you, you can see that Fritz has joined us for class today. He did not last week, but here he is today. All right, so remove any dogs from you. If you have them on you, go lay on your blanket. Go lay on your blanket. Bye. Now, we're going to go ahead and transition to all fours, to a nice tabletop position. If your knees are sensitive at all today, you can use your blanket to kind of just pad your knees a little bit. This mat's a little bit thin, so I'm going to use mine today. All right, so we're on all fours. You probably think, if you've been following my videos, you probably think you know where we're going, but we're not going to go there. Instead, so hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. With a nice big inhale, go ahead and lift that right arm up to the ceiling, just feeling that stretch. And then on the exhale, we're going to take that right arm underneath our left arm and then come down to our right ear. So we're just going to thread the needle here. And breathe. You should feel a nice stretch in your upper back. We'll take one more big breath here. And exhale. And when you're ready, go ahead and return back to that tabletop position. Just kind of compare your two sides. We'll take a couple breaths here. just warming up a little bit. All right, when you're ready, on your next inhale, go ahead and lift your left arm up to the sky. And exhale, we're going to thread the needle, bringing that left arm underneath our right and then coming down onto our left ear. Now your right arm can be bent like mine is, or you can stretch it out forward and straighten it. But again, just do what feels comfortable to you. The main thing here is just to make sure that you're breathing. Really breathe into all sides of your torso, feeling that nice stretch through your back body. Okay, take one more big inhale here. And then exhale. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and return back to all fours. All right, I'm going to remove my blanket here. And in your all four position, go ahead and bring your knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Inhale, look forward if you don't have a dog in front of you. And exhale, go ahead and shift your hips back. You can walk your fingertips forward, and we're going to bring our head to our mat in a nice child's pose. And breathe. Inhale, go ahead and look forward. Go ahead and shift forward onto all fours, bringing those knees back in line with your hips. From here, walk your hands just one handprint in front of where they were. So you don't want it directly underneath your shoulder. So just one handprint above where it was. We'll go ahead and tuck our toes. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, go ahead and lift the knees, start to straighten the legs, shift the hips up, back, and down, coming into our first downward facing dog. Now from here, you can walk your dog bending one knee and then the other. Make sure to keep breathing. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bring that to stillness. And just breathe. Okay, we'll take one more inhale here. Exhale, go ahead and just sigh it all out, let it go. All right, on your next inhale, go ahead and make sure your left foot is nice and firmly planted to the mat. On an inhale, we'll go ahead and lift our right leg up. Exhale, bend through that right leg, shift forward, look forward. We're going to step that right foot in between our palms, lower down onto that back knee, and you can untuck your toes. So from here, we're going to go into a low lunge. Make sure that your front leg is at a nice 90-degree angle, so you're not collapsing and coming in too much. So nice 90-degree angle. Pull that right hip crease back, that left hip crease forward. Your hands can be on the mat if you're able to get that low. You can be on fingertips. You can also, if you have blocks or books or anything like that, you can bring those up. The main thing is you want to keep a nice lift in your chest, and you want to be able to see your big toe. So make sure your knee isn't collapsing in. All right, so once you're all set up, go ahead and take a moment just to breathe. One more big inhale here. Feeling that nice stretch on our left quad. And then exhale, let it all go. All right, from here, go ahead and shift your hips back. And then we're going to peel our right toes off the mat and point the right toes towards our forehead. So coming into a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Again, you can be on your hands, fingertips. If you have blocks, you could grab those. And then just breathe. You should be feeling a nice stretch in that right hamstring. All right, after your next exhale, go ahead and roll back forward through that right foot. We're going to place our hands on either side of our foot. Tuck your left toes under and lift that knee up. So we're coming into more of a higher lunge here. Once you're here, go ahead and place your left hand firmly on the mat towards the inside of your right foot. And then on an inhale, twist your torso towards the right edge of your mat, lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling. So a nice twist to get rid of any toxins in your body. Remember to keep breathing. If it's a little bit too much with your knee up, you can lower your knee down and do the same twist. So you choose what feels good in your body today. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, go ahead and lower that right hand to the mat, turning everything back to the front. All right, from here, let's step our right foot back to meet our left foot, coming into our first plank of the day. So go ahead and push back through those heels. This is a little bit too much. You can drop your knees down. Just breathe here, just turning everything on, heating everything up. One more big inhale here. And on an exhale, slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. All right, from here, make sure your hands are in line with your rib cage. So the top of your rib cage. Inhale, look forward, rising up just slightly. So we're gonna start in a baby cobra just to warm up. So if you know cobra or up dog is in your practice, you can go ahead and go to those. But I'm gonna start nice and low and slow for this practice today. And breathe. Take one more big inhale here. And on an exhale, go ahead and lower your forehead down to the mat. Now, for this next move, we have some options. So again, listen to what feels right in your body today. You can either come to all fours and go back into that downward facing dog like we did to start, or on an inhale, let's tuck our toes and take a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and push up through the hands, and we're going to come back into the plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lift your hips high up and back, coming back into that downward facing dog. So however you chose to get here, whether it was through all fours and then coming into downward facing dog, or through plank and then downward facing dog, we're all going to meet in the same place. So you pick what feels right to your body today. All right, let's breathe. All right, one more big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. All right, now we have to do the other side. So on your next inhale, let's make sure our right foot is nice and firmly planted into the mat. Inhale, we'll lift our left leg up through that leg, shift forward, look forward, and we're going to step that left leg in between our palms, lowering onto our right knee. Again, make sure you have a nice 90-degree bend in this front leg, chest nice and lifted, looking forward, breathing. You can pull that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. You can also use blocks here. You need a little bit more lift. All right, wherever you're at, go ahead and take your last inhale and exhale. All right, so from here, let's shift our hips back. We're gonna peel those left toes up and forward towards our forehead. Look forward, so nice length in the chest. Again, you can use blocks here to lift up if you need a little height. And you should feel a nice stretch on that left hamstring. One big inhale here. Exhale, go ahead and roll through that left foot, coming back into that low lunge. From here, let's go ahead and tuck our toes on our right foot, lifting that right knee up. We're going to plant our right palm into the mat towards the inside of our left foot. And on an inhale, go ahead and lift your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. And breathe. One more big breath here. Exhale, let it all go. We're going to step our left foot back to meet our right foot, coming back into that plank pose, really pushing through those heels. Make sure you're not dipping and you're not lifting up too high. So nice straight line, really pushing away from the mat. One more big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go, coming down to the belly and tucking our toes. Inhale, we can rise up into that baby cobra, or if you'd like a little more, push into your hands, rise all the way up into a full cobra. Just looking forward. Make sure your shoulders aren't coming up to your ears, so shoulders up, back, and down. Really pushing your chest forward here. And on your next exhale, let it all go. Melt back down towards the mat. All right, so you have your own choice to make here. You can either come to all fours and then meet us in downward facing dog, or on an inhale, let's tuck our toes. Exhale, push up into plank. Take a nice inhale here. Exhale, lift your hips up, back, and down, coming into downward facing dog. We'll take just a couple breaths here. Next inhale, go ahead and look forward. We're going to make our way up to the top of the mat. So you can hop, you can jump, you can take a couple big steps, you can take little baby steps and just make your way up to the top of the mat. Ooh. All right, once your feet are up at the top of the mat, make sure there's a little bit of a bend in them. Inhale, come up halfway, keep a nice flat back. Exhale, let it all go. Now you can bend your knees as generously as you'd like. You should be feeling a nice stretch in your hamstrings. You can also use blocks here to bring the floor up to you. So again, listen to what your body needs today and just adjust accordingly. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. And when you're ready, we'll slowly start to roll up, stacking those vertebrae one on top of the other until we're up into a nice standing position. Now we're going to move into a mountain pose, so go ahead and adjust your clothing if needed. I need to adjust mine. You can roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And then just come into stillness. You might want to lift your feet up and down a couple times, really feeling that ground underneath you. Then when you're ready, go ahead and move into stillness. Make sure your chest is nice and lifted. Again, your shoulders should be up, back, and down. And breathe. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Just really feel the energy moving through your body. Alright, if you're not already, go ahead and turn towards the long edge of your mat. We're going to step our feet a little bit wider, so not like super wide, but not in together either. So just kind of outside of your hip points. And then we're just going to gently kind of sway side to side, bringing the arms around, lifting up onto the ball of our foot, onto our toe maybe, and you're just going to swing one way and then the other. Now as you do this, your hands can touch your body, so maybe smack your own booty, and you're just going to sway back and forth, back and forth. You can keep a nice bend in the knee. You can go as fast or as slow as you'd like. So go ahead and take whatever movements feel good in this moment. Keep breathing. Smile. This is called knocking on heaven's door. I've done it in a few previous videos. This is one of my favorites. It helps to move any stuck energy. It's not only used in yoga, it's also used in Qigong and other modalities, Tai Chi and things like that. So just keep going. We're just going to do this for a little bit. Moving any of that stagnant energy out of the body. We don't want to bring that with us. Especially things like other people's opinions, other people's judgments, anything like that. Let's get rid of it all. Other people's stress. Alright, then when you're ready, we'll start to slow it down. So start to bring the hands away from the body and just slowly start to sway again, kind of how we started out. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and bring that to stillness. You can bring the feet in. We're going to return to that mountain pose. And then just breathe. Feel that energy flow through you. Feel the energy rising up from the earth. And then feel the energy move in your body. Feel your breath traveling through your lungs, into your belly. Alright, and then when you're ready, if your eyes were closed, you can open them. Otherwise, I'll meet you at the top of the mat. On an inhale, let's reach our arms up overhead. Exhale, let's float our arms down, bending and shifting the hips back, coming back into that forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway flat back. Exhale, let it all go. We'll take just a couple breaths here. All right, now I'm going to turn to face you guys. So on your next inhale, go ahead and lift your heels up off the floor, coming onto the balls of your toes. So, like that. And then from here, start to bend through your knees and start to lower the hips down. You can spread your knees out wide. Now, you might stay here. You might need to widen your feet a little bit. You can also use a block here to bring underneath you to sit on. Otherwise, make any adjustments you need. You might need to rock side to side. I'm going to bring my palms to the ground. But wherever you're at, if you're in this full yogi squat position, I'm going to bring my hands to heart center, pressing on the outside of my knees, lifting my chest up nice and high, and breathing. If your feet don't touch the ground, that's okay. If you'd like a block underneath you, grab a block. If this is much too much, rise up a little bit. You don't have to come as far down as I am. We're just opening up through the hips, breathing. Smile. One more big breath in. Exhale, let it all go. All right, from here, take one arm behind you and then the other, and then go ahead and rest your bum to the floor. And we're going to spin long ways on our mat. Now this is where if you have a bolster or pillows or blankets or anything like that, grab those. We're going to transition into our final pose, Shavasana. So wherever you're at, go ahead and roll down on your back. Grab any props that you need to come into the most comfortable Shavasana for you. When you're ready, you can extend out one leg, letting the toes turn out, falling open. Extend out through the other, doing the same. Your hands can be out at a 45-degree angle, palms facing up or down, maybe pinky side resting on the mat. You can bring a hand to the belly, one to the heart. You can bring two hands to your belly. Again, pay attention to what your body needs. Do make sure your shoulder blades are nice and snuggled underneath your heart space. And when you're ready, you can gently close down the eyes or soften your gaze. And we'll take a few moments in silence just to thank ourselves for showing up today, for showing up for ourselves, for spending some time dedicated to self-care for us. Again, you are worthy of taking this time for yourself. And when you do, when you fill your own cup, you're going to be able to show up so much better for anybody else. And you won't be coming, again, from that place of lack, from needing that validation, because you're already enough. You're already worthy. You don't need anybody else really to say that to you. And the more time you take to tend to your needs and to care for yourself, the stronger you become, and the more you can manifest, the more you can really put back out in the world, and you're nurtured and you're nourished and you're fed. I'm going to go silent for just a moment. I'm going to allow you guys to rest in Shavasana. I will let you know when it's time to come out of it. So the card I pulled for class today was Cow Spirit. The miracles are endless. Every time I see Cow Spirit, I think of Twister and the "We've got cows." Canvas here. All right, the message we have for today's practice is Cow Spirit asks you to pay attention to how you nourish your mind, body, and spirit right now. Nourish your mind, body, and spirit, because right now you are wobbling around like a newborn calf on its unsteady legs. Perhaps you've been spending too much time distracting yourself on the internet, or obsessing over a relationship, or choosing to eat food that is not healthy. Whatever it is, you're being nudged to assess how you are looking after your needs. Remember, the universe has a way of reflecting back to you events and conditions that match how you treat yourself. Cow Spirit reminds you that the universe wants to give you the very best, but needs you to do your part to participate and nourish your well-being. Heed her message and everything will shift in your favor. It's a very nice cow message. All right, if you'd like to stay in Shavasana, stay as long as time allows. If you need to get going, then slowly start to deepen your breath. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes, just bringing life back into them. When you're ready, go ahead and place your feet firmly on the mat, knees bent. And then when you're ready, go ahead and roll to your favorite side. Go ahead and use your bottom arm as kind of a pillow and come into a little fetal position. Take a couple breaths there. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and slowly push yourself up into a nice comfortable seat, bringing your head and neck up last. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes if they are not already. So again, thank you so much for taking this time for yourself today to practice with me and with everybody else watching. It really does go a long way. I know sometimes it's hard to remember that you are worthy of taking time to care for yourself, but you really are, and it's really important. So thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, and your practice with me. Namaste.